Good morning. To the rescue. The Bush administration and the Federal Reserve scrambling today to save the nation's two largest mortgage finance companies. Is it enough, and will you end up footing the bill? This buds for who? Anheuser-Busch, an American beer-making icon, agrees to be sold to a Belgian company. And not again. For the second year in a row, a Miss USA trips and falls during the Miss Universe pageant. But she's back on her feet today, Monday, July 14th, 2008.
From NBC News, this is Today with Matt Lauer and Meredith Vieira, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And good morning. Welcome to Today on a Monday morning. I'm Matt Lauer.
Meredith's on assignment this morning. I'm Ann Curry. Good morning, everybody. And whether we know it or not, this government bill to save the mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is very important to our bottom line.
We'll put it into perspective. These two companies either own or guarantee about half of all the outstanding mortgages in this country right now. And if you have any money in a mutual fund, well, there's a good chance that these companies are a part of your portfolio. Their shares have plummeted in the past couple of days amid fears about the credit crisis. So the government, as Ann said, is stepping in now to help. We're going to find out what it all means for your bottom line in just a couple of minutes.
Then, Matt, we're also be talking about a big controversy. It's over this New Yorker magazine cover. It shows Barack Obama in a turban in the White House with his wife, Michelle, carrying a machine gun. You can see a U.S. flag burning in the fireplace. Both the Obama and McCain campaigns have called this cover tasteless and offensive. The magazine says it's just simple satire. We're going to find out about the political fallout.
If the magazine was looking to make a couple of headlines, they certainly accomplished that goal. Also ahead, the frenzy over getting the first picture of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's newborn twins. And we've heard numbers anywhere from $10 million for these photos all the way up to $20 million. Yikes.
Plus, we're going to meet a man who says we'd all be better off if we lived car-free. So coming up, we're going to find out how we all might be able to do that.
All right, but let's begin this Monday morning with the nation's largest home lending institutions under the gun. Can a government bailout save them? NBC's John Larson has more on this and the growing list of banks that seem to be in trouble.
Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae used to be thought of as the unshakable bedrock of the home lending industry. But the mortgage meltdown is shaking even the bedrock, prompting a rare Sunday announcement from the U.S. Treasury Secretary.
We must take steps to address the current situation as we move to a stronger regulatory structure.
Secretary Paulson reassured worried investors, saying the federal government was ready to extend lines of credit to both banks, known as government-supported enterprises, or GSEs.
The plan includes temporary authority for Treasury to purchase equity in either of the two GSEs if needed.
But the very thought of Fannie and Freddie in trouble, which together hold $5 trillion in loans, that's half the nation's mortgage debt, has stunned investors and sent the company's stock plummeting 50% in just a week.
I think that Fannie and Freddie can go on with their existence. Right now it's really kind of a crisis of confidence.
A similar crisis has taken down IndyMac in California. Awash in bad mortgages, the federal government shut down the bank Friday, making it the second largest single bank failure in U.S. history. Sunday, that bank's new CEO assured customers that the federal government would back virtually all the $19 billion in deposits.
We would suggest to people with insured accounts, don't worry.
The federal government recently reported that it had a list of 90 banks nationwide that were in serious financial trouble. What's worrying many is that IndyMac wasn't even on that list.
Some analysts out there have been calling for literally hundreds, if not thousands, of regional banks to end up in a situation that IndyMac's in right now.
Both Sunday announcements were meant to reassure a nation increasingly in need of reassurance. For Today, John Larson, NBC News, Los Angeles.
So should you be worried right now? CNBC's Erin Burnett has some answers. Erin, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
The government steps in. They go, look, we got to calm things down. We got to make people not panic. So did they take the right steps? Or are you expecting to see on Wall Street this morning huge volatility?
Huge volatility. So far, the market reaction will be maybe a sigh of relief. These stocks, you just heard John Larson talking about it, down 50% in 1 week, likely going to open higher. Why? Because frankly, Matt, this is a bailout.
Well, when you look at these two enterprises, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, they're huge. As I said in the open, they're involved in one way or another in about 50% of all the outstanding mortgages in this country right now. Trillions and trillions of dollars. How did they get themselves in this situation? Or is that is the answer in the question?
Well, it's amazing. Look, they were started to encourage home ownership in this country, that more and more Americans could own homes. And part of the way they did that, Matt, you go to a bank and you say, hey, I want to get a mortgage. And I'm going to pick any old name here for no reason, Bank of America. And they say, yo, look, if Matt Lowry looks all right, we'll give that mortgage to Fannie Mae. So if Matt doesn't pay, Fannie will take the loss. So what that has enabled over time is Bank of America to make more mortgages, more people own homes at a lower interest rate, and that's the key.
Well, is this a pay me now or pay me later situation, Aaron, for the taxpayers of this country? Things get calmed down now. Maybe it's not as hard to find a mortgage in the short term, but in the long term, are we all going to foot the bill for this?
I think that really is the crucial point. In the short term, they're trying to calm the waters. They're saying, look, the government might be able to buy some of the stock in these companies. I mean, that's where we're talking about a bailout. But over the longer term, this situation is something that probably should be addressed. If interest rates are artificially low, we should have a real interest rate. And Matt, just to give you some perspective, interest rates right now from Freddie Mac, 6.4%. That's way below the historical average. So we could really deal with interest rates going up a little bit.
A couple of other things in the minute I have left. The situation with IndyMac Bank, the government stepped in on Friday saying, here's a bank that's drowning in bad loans and bad debts. So emotionally versus the reality, what's at stake for the people who have money deposited there?
The reality of it is Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, insures your deposits up to $100,000. So you can get your money back. A few
Guaranteed.
people, guaranteed.
Right.
And for any other bank in this country, if there were to be a similar situation, if it is FDIC insured, you will get your money back.
But emotionally, it sounds like
it's a frightening thing. A run on a bank is a frightening thing. We all know, the famous movie, right? But It's a Wonderful Life. That is what we're dealing with here, and that's why calming the waters is the predominant goal for the government.
And finally, this Bud's for who? I'm going to say this slowly because if you like Budweiser, you may have imbibed in a couple last night, and you may be waking up a little foggy. You're waking up to find out that the King of Beers, an American icon, is being sold to a Belgian company. What's the deal here?
It's a Belgian-Brazilian behemoth, Matt, and now it's got Budweiser. All right, but here's the good thing. You now got Bud, Bass, and Beck's together. You're going to love this statistic. Together, the two companies will be the biggest beer company in the world. 12 billion gallons a year is how much beer they will be shipping. And while Bud is an American institution, 156 years old, InBev dates back to 1266. So good company, and St. Louis will be the North American headquarters for the Brazilian.
Why does it worry me just a little that
Belgian
you knew
behemoth.
those statistics about all those beers?
This was a fun one to look
Worries
into,
me a
Matt.
little.
And I know my audience.
Just a
That's maybe
tad.
the way I would say it.
Aaron Burnett, thanks very
Good
much.
to see you, Matt.
Let's get the rest of the morning's top stories now from Natalie, who's filling in while Ann is over at our desk. Natalie, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Matt, and good morning, everyone. And as Aaron mentioned, we're going to have more now on this morning's mega business beer deal. Belgian brewer InBev is buying Anheuser-Busch to create the world's largest brewer. CNBC's Scott Cohn is in St. Louis. Scott, good morning to you.
Good morning, Natalie. You know, there was a huge amount of outcry from politicians, from workers, and just regular folks about the very prospect of this American icon falling into foreign hands. But in the end, it all came down to money, $52 billion. And now the brewer of Michelob and Budweiser will be owned by InBev of Belgium, which is the brewer of Beck's and Stella Artois. The good news for people here that were worried about this is that InBev did not have any breweries in the United States, so they say they will keep everything open. The question, though, is all the other things that Anheuser-Busch was involved in, from local philanthropy to theme parks. Here's how the St. Louis Post-Dispatch is playing it this morning. Farewell to the King. Natalie?
All right, Scott Cohn there in St. Louis. Thank you, Scott. We are learning more this morning about a deadly attack Sunday that killed 9 U.S. soldiers and wounded 15 others in Afghanistan. NBC's Jim Miklaszewski is at the Pentagon. Mick, what can you tell us?
Natalie, this was the deadliest attack against U.S. forces in Afghanistan in more than 3 years. The 9 American soldiers were killed when more than 100 Taliban fighters launched the fierce attack on a U.S. outpost in the Kunar province near the Pakistan border. For several hours, the enemy fired machine guns, rocket-propelled grenades, and mortars from the cover of private homes, and a mosque in a nearby village. Now, this latest incident is just another dramatic sign that the war in Afghanistan has taken a turn for the worse. In fact, in the past 2 months, more American and coalition forces have been killed in Afghanistan than in Iraq. And as the U.S. begins to draw down more forces from Iraq, the Pentagon is already looking at plans to send as many as 10,000 additional forces into Afghanistan to meet the growing threat from the Taliban, which is enjoying a safe haven in nearby Pakistan.
All right, Jim Mikoszewski at the Pentagon. Thank you,
Okay,
Jim.
Natalie.
Today, a prosecutor with the International Criminal Court filed genocide charges against Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir, charging him with 10 counts that also include war crimes in Darfur. The prosecutor is seeking an indictment and arrest warrant. People in parts of California this morning are dealing with not only fire, but now mudslides. Heavy rain Sunday sent water, mud, and debris rushing down a canyon near Lake Isabella. More than 3 inches of rain fell in 2 hours. Some people had to be rescued from their homes by helicopter. Tropical storm Bertha is being blamed for the deaths of as many as 3 people caught in rip currents along the New Jersey shore. Today, Bertha is expected to kick up high surf and dump heavy rain as it passes just east of Bermuda. Another record high for gas prices this morning, $4.11 a gallon now for regular, according to AAA and the Lumberg survey. And Miss Venezuela is the new Miss Universe. 22-year-old Diana Mendoza was crowned last night. And for the second straight year, Miss USA fell down, ouch, during the evening gown competition. She apparently tripped on the train of her gown. This time it happened to Crystal Stewart of Texas. She finished there in the top 10, but as you see, she got right back up and held her poise and finished her walk down the runway. It is now 7:11. Back over to Matt, Ann, and Jeff. Poor
It's
thing.
sabotage.
Unfortunately,
It is sabotage.
there is YouTube, and
Yeah,
it
it's the
lives
shoes.
on.
But you know, the bottom line is, what are we doing wearing these shoes, right, Natalie? I mean,
It's
when you
the
think
shoes
about
and the
it.
dress, you know, together. It's a
Miss
bad,
Uni-
lethal combination.
We may talk to her later, but you're right. They should wear the gowns with kids. There you go.
I'm all for that. Comfort.
Al is taking a long weekend. We got Jeff Ranieri here with us this morning with a look at the weather. What's going on?
Well, we have Bertha. We also have another storm we're watching out in the far Atlantic. And as far as the U.S. goes, you're going to want to watch those shoes today as well. But let's get to Bertha. It is passing just to the east of Bermuda, the center of the storm, that is. They are now feeling tropical storm effects, winds 40 to 60 miles per hour, waves that could be as high as 12 feet and 2 to 4 inches of rain. And our other area of interest out here, just off the Cape Verde Islands, could be a tropical depression by later on today, sitting out in those warm waters. Meanwhile, we're following the monsoon rain in the southwest and fires in California. That's a look at your national forecast. Now here's the weather right where you are. All right, it's humid out there in the east
Harold Ford
today.
Jr.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Bill Henley with umbrella weather. Showers and thunderstorms this morning for Philadelphia, but clouds will break this afternoon as the showers slide to the east across Delaware and South Jersey. 80s today, and nice weather ahead for tomorrow. The humidity will be coming way down for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, up to 86 degrees tomorrow, then 90 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday, and then for Friday and Saturday, the humidity arrives with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Showers late Saturday and Sunday. Have a great day.
For the White House, the economy will probably be the biggest challenge facing the next president of the United States. And today, both John McCain and Barack Obama are trying to prove they're up to the job. NBC's Andrea Mitchell has a campaign roundup for us this morning. Hey, Andrea, good morning.
Good morning, Ann. Well, you're absolutely right. The financial crisis has overtaken the best laid plans of the presidential candidates, putting them on the spot today about how they would handle the mortgage meltdown. Barack Obama, campaigning for Hispanic support in San Diego, was asked by reporters about the administration's steps to shore up Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
We need to do what's necessary in order to ensure that mortgages are available and that people can stay in their homes.
John McCain also says the survival of the mortgage giants is essential, despite some of their past practices.
They will not fail. We cannot allow them to fail. They are vital to Americans' ability to own their own homes.
Obama and McCain in the latest Newsweek poll are in a dead heat within the margin of error. If accurate, the race is much tighter than the same poll showed 3 weeks ago. This after a week of missteps by surrogates for both sides on everything from Viagra
I certainly do not want to discuss that issue.
to faith-based initiatives and the economy.
You sort of become a nation of whiners.
The candidates are trying to get back on message and searching for running mates. Would Obama consider Clinton after all? He raised eyebrows by calling a prominent Clinton fundraiser and saying Clinton was still on his list, but that choosing her would be complicated because her husband is a former president.
What Barack Obama needs most of all is a reassuring choice in vice president, not one that reflects any insecurity about Barack Obama's own resume, but somebody who tells Americans that this is a guy I can feel safe with voting for president.
But Obama must still fight unflattering stereotypes. And his campaign is furious about a satirical New Yorker magazine cover this week, depicting the Obamas as terrorists in the Oval Office, with a portrait of Osama bin Laden and a burning American flag in the fireplace. The accompanying story is flattering, but the Obama campaign says the magazine's attempt to satirize right-wing stereotyping of the Obamas is offensive and tasteless. And the McCain campaign joined in the criticism of the magazine. A spokesman for the New Yorker says that satire is what we do. It is meant to hold up a mirror to prejudice, the hateful, and the absurd. Ann?
Andrea Mitchell this morning. Andrea, thank you. So let's get some perspective on all this from former Democratic Congressman Harold Ford Jr. He's now an NBC News political analyst. Hey, great to see you.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
So how damaging is this New Yorker magazine cover?
It doesn't help. I think Senator Obama and his campaign's response that it's tasteless and offensive is spot on. Not only that, it's curious that a magazine would go to this lengths to make this kind of a statement when you consider that a portion of this country, particularly in Midwestern and Rust Belt states, still believe that Barack Obama, because of internet campaigns, mistakenly and wrongly believe he may be a Muslim, and they equate that with terrorist activity. It's puzzling, and if not outright belittling, that they would do this to this candidate at this point. I've never seen a candidate treated like this at this point in the campaign.
So you're saying that, or when you say it's unbelievable they're treating, you're suggesting that maybe there's something a little more untoward, devious about this decision?
No, I think they may have wanted to satirize this, and that's all understandable. But at this point in the campaign, at this point in the nation's history, to take these steps with this picture, the editors at the magazine have some questions to answer.
You make a good point in terms of the numbers, because in fact a new Newsweek poll found that actually more than half of all respondents think that Barack Obama was either raised as a Muslim, educated at a Muslim school, or was sworn in as senator on a Quran. So the question is really, why do so many people have this sense? It's not because of that magazine cover, because that happened after. Why do people have this wrong?
I think two reasons. One, Senator Obama's name suggests in some ways wrongly that his religion may be different than what it is. He's a Christian. He's a God-fearing man who raised his kids in a Christian church. Two, I think part of what Senator Obama is going to have to do, he didn't create this problem, but he's going to have to exude more, show more his love and patriotism for the country. He gave a fantastic speech a few weeks ago, not only about patriotism, but gave a great speech on Father's Day about personal and self-responsibility. He's now, from a campaign perspective, got to figure out how you follow that up. How do you amplify that? How do you reinforce those themes and those messages through paid advertisements? They've raised a lot of money, and they're probably going to have to spend a good chunk of it trying to disabuse people of this wrong notion about him and his religion.
The new Newsweek poll also says that Barack Obama and John McCain currently are now in a statistical dead heat. That same Newsweek's magazine said that a month ago, Barack Obama was actually ahead by 15%. Now, there's some debate about whether these are funny numbers, but do you think there's something going on? Because there's also a lot of accusation now against both campaigns about flip-flopping, and specifically against Obama about flip-flopping. Do you think there's something going on? Does Barack Obama have to really worry now?
No, these polls are just snapshots of where we are. I didn't believe the polls showing that far ahead. I got great respect for John Meacham and the organization, but at the same time, this race is fluid. This race is finally engaging and forming. Two things. Barack Obama is running for the President of the United States, not the President of MoveOn.org, the President of any liberal group. He's running to lead and be a decision maker and be a visionary for the country on the economy, national security, and the immediate issue of Iraq. He's not flip-flopping. I think people
he's changed
try
his
to put him in
People say that he's changed his position by rejecting public financing, by voting for the FISA warrantless wiretap, his position on gun control in Washington, D.C. He is now being accused of flip-flopping on those issues. What do you mean he's not changed his position?
I think it's fair on the campaign finance because he made a statement there. But on FISA and on the war, I want a president who's going to adjust to circumstances and needs on the ground. I want a president who's not going to be inflexible or ideological. And I think what Senator Obama said is that's the kind of president, the kind of decision maker I will be. Campaign finance, we can debate. I would agree. There's probably a great argument that can be made about his differing position on that front. The reality is we have a housing challenge, we have an oil price challenge in this country, and we have a national security and image challenge around the world. Barack Obama has to address those 4 issues over the next 4 months. If he does successfully, he'll be elected. If
Harold
not,
Ford.
he won't.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Harold Ford. This morning, it is now 7:19. Once again, here's Matt.
All right, Ann, thank you. Now to the rising price of gas and oil. While it's bad news for you, not everyone feels the same way. NBC's chief foreign affairs correspondent Richard Engel has a look at one Middle Eastern nation that has turned oil into gold. Richard, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. I'm in Baghdad today, but I just came from Abu Dhabi, which is part of the United Arab Emirates. Last week, Abu Dhabi bought New York's famous Chrysler Building, and today announces a major purchase of aircraft. It is just one of the nations in this part of the region that are benefiting tremendously from rising oil prices.
Not everyone is suffering from record oil prices. Abu Dhabi, a tiny conservative city-state in the Persian Gulf, sits atop 10% of the world's oil. It's using the wealth to build and buy everything. Cranes clutter downtown. Shopping malls are filled with designer stores. Nearby, there's a $3 billion hotel, which claims to be the most expensive ever built. Just a few decades ago, Abu Dhabi was better known for deserts and falconry. The birds remain central to the culture here. At a falcon hospital, they undergo surgery, and every broken feather is lovingly glued back together. Still, the birds are not always cooperative.
Falcons were traditionally used here to hunt for food to feed families. Now, falconry is the national sport, and these prize birds can sell for up to $50,000.
Abu Dhabi is buying up Western culture too. This week, it's hosting a Picasso exhibit from Paris, and plans go well beyond that. On this uninhabited island, Abu Dhabi is building the first Louvre Museum outside France, a Guggenheim Museum, and a campus of New York University. On another island, $40 billion has been budgeted for 100 new skyscrapers.
We have for a long time latched onto the idea of making Abu Dhabi an idea capital. You start by having first-class academic institutions, first-class cultural institutions.
The scale of construction here is enormous. When this mosque is finished later this year, it will be the 3rd largest in the world. Just part of Abu Dhabi's plans to spend $175 billion on development over the next 5 years.
The chandelier in this mosque alone is made of 1 million crystals and 24-karat gold. So are the mosaics. The carpet was handmade by 1,200 weavers in Iran. Lavish, yes, but people here are hardly suffering.
What would be the average salary for most people your age, your friend, other 24-year-olds, in dollars?
Around $180,000.
Per year?
Per year.
And it's all tax-free. The government can afford it.
Abu Dhabi sells most of its oil to Asia, so Americans at the pump aren't paying for all of this, but the region is certainly benefiting from skyrocketing oil prices. Matt?
All right, Richard Engel, who's in Baghdad for us this morning. Richard, thank you very much. And still ahead, when will we see their new bundles of joy? The worldwide frenzy over Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's newborn twins. Go live to the hospital in France, but first, this is Today on NBC.
This week on The 10 Show.
Break out your Dwight bobblehead dolls. From The Office, it's actor Rainn Wilson.
Plus, some made-up words to add to your vocabulary.
And we take you to the sweetest place on earth.
That's this week on The 10 Show.
The wait is almost over.
I promise you, the dawn is coming.
The Dark Knight is about to hit theaters, and DigPhilly.com has your chance to win a prize pack. Just go to DigPhilly.com and register for your chance to win. The Dark Knight, in theaters everywhere, July 18th.
Hey. Hey.
Dale and Brennan just became stepbrothers.
All right, everybody, you're going to be sharing a room just until you move out.
Are you awake? Yeah. I hate your guts. If you feel something down at your ankle, it's me trying to gnaw your leg off.
From Adam McKay, director of Talladega Nights.
I think they're starting to like each other.
What are you doing? I'm burying you. My dad's gonna wonder where I am. He'll never know you're gone.
Step Brothers, rated R.
Let the dirt just shower over you.
It's Mazda's 10-car dash. Ten great Mazdas, one great offer. Now with 0% APR financing and 0 down payment. Mazda's 10-car dash model year closeout. Dash in. Offer ends soon.
3 days from knee surgery
To walking without pain.
It means I can do this again.
It means I can get back to work.
To some, a few days isn't much.
But to me, it's freedom.
A chance to get back to life.
Everyday Virtua is performing the most advanced knee surgeries. One of the many ways we're taking medicine in a new direction. Give us a few days. We'll give you the rest of your life.
Still ahead while you may be rich and not even know it.
Plus, saving big money by just getting rid of your car. It might be easier than you think. We have a guide to living car-free after your local news.
On a road trip.
Surprise!
Oh, no.
What matters most is the people you meet
Ding dong!
along the way.
It was an itsy-bitsy teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
College Road Trip. Rated G. On Disney DVD and Blu-ray Hide of Tomorrow.
Driving a lemon? You may have the right to a new car or a refund. Call for legal help.
1-800-MY-LEMON.
This is NBC 10 News Today.
Good Monday morning. I'm Jamison Euler. Commuters in West Philadelphia and Delaware County have their work cut out for them this week. SEPTA L reconstruction has shut down several stations and closed the intersection of 63rd and Market. Stay with us. John Ogden's Digital Traffic Pulse is coming up. Also this morning, the Coast Guard suspends its search for a missing swimmer in Philadelphia. 21-year-old Sandro Valentine vanished last night in the Delaware River near the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge. And investigators are checking into last night's crash of a small experimental plane in Camden County, New Jersey. Neither the pilot nor the passenger was hurt. The pilot says the plane simply ran out of gas. And one half of Philadelphia's Bonnie and Clyde duo is due in court today. Jocelyn Kirsch is accused of stealing IDs and scamming people so that she and her boyfriend could live the high life. I'll have your traffic and weather forecast in just a moment.
This NBC 10 News update sponsored by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's moving forward.
Imagine yourself in the best-selling car in America for just $199 a month. Or get $500 in customer cash. The Toyota Camry. A smart way to keep moving forward.
Next Friday, Natasha Bedingfield.
I'm performing live.
Live on the Plaza. The Toyota Summer Concerts.
Only on Today.
On NBC.
The Toyota Summer Concert Series, sponsored locally by Team Toyota.
On Days of Our Lives, an all-American summer of romance begins with a young couple on their own.
Help me find my sister.
And in love. Days of Our Lives.
Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem County Family Support Organization is devoted to helping families who have children with behavioral or emotional challenges. Call 856-507-9400.
Let's go ahead and now get that Earthwatch forecast from meteorologist Bill Henley in the Weather Center. Well, it is a damp one to start with. Some heavy downpours in the area. Won't be here all day, but you'll need your umbrella to start with. Live Doppler 10,000 shows some heavy showers in the area and a potential for thunderstorm activity. 80 degrees at noontime. We'll see sunshine later this afternoon, while there's still a chance of showers at the shore. Tomorrow, nice and comfortable with a high of 86. Thank you, Bill. How's that morning commute going, John?
All right, Jameson, well, not so great out in West Philly. We've got the L running shuttle buses between 69th and 40th Street stations. That's because of that construction project. It's going to last for a week. Also, northbound 42, that's the traffic headed off to the left. We're at a crawl now, generally from the Atlantic City Expressway through this Pointed Creek Road all the way up to 295. And as you head up to the Ben Franklin Bridge, we're heavy there as well, inbound, basically from Midspan all the way down toward the Vine Street Expressway, so add some time there. Jameson, back to you.
Thanks, John. The Phil's Chase Utley takes part in tonight's All-Star Home Run Derby at Yankee Stadium. We're back here in 25 minutes. I'm Jameson Euler. Now back to New York and the Today Show. 7:30 now on a Monday morning, 14th of July, 2008. It's been raining here in the Northeast, but at the moment the umbrellas are down. That's good news for the people who are gathered out in Rockefeller Plaza. A lot of people dressed alike there. We'll get behind that story in just a little while. Meanwhile, inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer alongside Ann Curry. Ann is here while Meredith is on assignment today. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
And our pleasure, too. And coming up in just a moment, double the pleasure for Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. They're now the proud parents of twins. We're going to go live to France for the very latest. How many kids do they have now?
I think this makes six, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Lots and lots of kids. Anyway, she's always said she's one of them. We've also got this morning something that maybe people might be interested in with the cost of gas. How would you like to save anywhere from $400 to $1,000 every month? Well, one man says you can do it by simply keeping your car parked at home or getting rid of your car altogether. He thinks it's easier than you think. So he lives in Los Angeles, by the way, the car capital of the world. So this morning we're going to find out how we maybe learn something.
He's the guy you see on the bike on the the highway there all the time.
Well, there are lots of towns like Portland, Oregon, where bicycles are the thing. If you can do it, it's better for you.
We'll see how to accomplish that a little later on. Why you may be rich and not even know it. We've got a guide to finding unclaimed cash that may be sitting in an account in your name. Plus, Miss USA Crystal Stewart will join us live to talk about what had to be not her favorite moment last night. This is when Miss Venezuela got crowned Miss Universe, but earlier, right there, Miss USA went down. Second year in a row for a Miss USA to go down during that segment of the competition. Anyway, we'll talk to her about that.
Worst nightmare, what everybody doesn't want to happen. But anyway, first this morning, everyone loves baby pictures, and none perhaps will be more valuable than the first photos of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's newborn twins born this weekend in France. NBC's Janet Shamlian is outside their hospital in Nice with more on the story. Janet, good morning.
And good morning. You would think from the scene outside the hospital here on the French Riviera that a future king or queen had been born, and yet this is royalty of the Hollywood variety. With the Mediterranean as a backdrop, photographers have surrounded every entrance to this hospital. They're all hoping, perhaps praying, for that elusive multi-million-dollar photo of those already famous Brangelina babies.
The long lenses of the world's paparazzi trained upon a once sleepy hospital along the French Riviera. It is now the birthplace of Hollywood royalty. Twins born Saturday night to Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
I'm waiting to buy the magazine and to see how if they look like the mommy or the daddy.
Reporters and photographers blanket every hospital entrance.
I just decided to come take a look since I was here.
And satellite trucks park along the street, aptly named California.
They've been watching and chronicling the size of her bump. This is very exciting.
The babies, named Knox Leon and Vivian Marceline, were delivered by cesarean section 1 minute apart. Each weighed 5 pounds. Angelina's doctor said the birth was relaxed.
By all accounts, Angelina Jolie was laughing and chatting during the actual birth, and Brad was there. He cut the umbilical cord, was said to be emotional, but very calm.
The so-called Brangelina babies joined 2-year-old Shiloh and the couple's adopted children, 6-year-old Maddox, 4-year-old Pax, and 3-year-old Zahara. Jolie and the twins are expected to head to their rented French estate about an hour from here within a day or two. The actress and her entourage have taken 4 suites on the hospital's 5th floor with guards at all entrances. The windows overlooking the blue waters of the Mediterranean have been coated to keep out uninvited cameras.
They're going to protect the price of these photos. They do not want any candid snaps shot by some local paparazzi that's going to in any way ruin probably a multi-million-dollar deal.
While millions wait for a glimpse of the newborns, those first coveted photos have reportedly been sold to People magazine for more than $11 million, with the money going to charity.
And from her hospital suite here on the 5th floor, perhaps the finest view from any hospital room in the world, the beautiful blue waters of the Mediterranean. This area is called the Bay of Angels, and she must certainly feel like she has two of them up there with her this morning. We are hearing that Brad Pitt brought the other 4 children to meet their new siblings this weekend, and as we said, she's expected to stay here and enjoy this view for a few more days. Ann?
All right, Janet Shanley, and thank you so much this morning. Anyway, of course, celebrity reporters from all around the globe are digging up for any little piece of information they can find about the most famous twins around these days, and among them is Simon Perry. He's the London bureau chief for People magazine. He's also in Nice this morning. Simon, good morning.
Good morning to you.
There are reports that People magazine has paid, as Janet just mentioned, more than $10 million, possibly $11 million for these photographs, the first photographs of these twins. Can you confirm that since you work for People magazine?
I'm afraid I can't. I think these stories are all mere speculation at this point. Of course, we'd love to see this lovely couple and their beautiful children and young family in the pages of People magazine, but you know, I think we're all getting a bit premature here. The children, after all, the newborns are only 36 hours old or so.
So you're saying that there has not yet been a deal made with People magazine, because there are some reports the numbers actually even go as high as 20 million, and People magazine has in the past published photographs of very famous people with their babies.
Well, we have, you're right, and we were very proud to feature Shiloh when she was born 18 months or so ago with the couple. But as I say, all these reports are mere speculation at this point.
Does People magazine pay millions of dollars for photographs?
Well, we're a celebrity magazine and we buy photographs all the time, yes.
All right. What more can you tell us?
We're here to...
Go ahead.
We've got some nice new news this morning. Dr. Michelle Sussman, the obstetrician, has been in to see Angelina and came out and reported to us directly that everything's going very, very well and that there's been no dramas, which is always good news. You just never know. Obviously, these children are so young at the moment, and it's nice to hear these little bulletins from her doctor.
Has actually anything been said of concern for the babies? Because 5 pounds is pretty small. Is there any concern that you're hearing about Knox? By the way, we should mention Knox is K-N-O-X, and Vivian.
No, Knox and Vivian, as far as we understand it, everything's going very well. We, I believe the couple were very calm and very emotional during the deliveries of Saturday evening. Of course they were. It's a momentous event for any family. But yeah, everything's gone very well. The doctors have been keeping us appraised. At People magazine, we've been reporting this from as soon as the news became available. And as far as we understand, everything's going very well.
I understand that Vivian's middle name is Marceline, which is the name of Angelina Jolie's mother, who died some 18 months ago, with whom she was very, very close. Yes. So that is, I'm sure, a bit of tenderness and emotion in all of this news, this good news. But also, I understand that there is a lot of tenderness from what you've been able to report in the delivery room itself between Angelina and Brad Pitt. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, we understand that obviously Brad was very attentive to his to Angelina and was there showing as much support as possible from the moment that the whole delivery started on Saturday late afternoon. The doctors have told us that that they felt the emotion from the couple, which is a lovely way of putting it. That they were both very bonded and in this together, and also very calm. Though they kept stressing how calm Brad was, which to some people who've not been through this may be surprising.
Well, now they have 6 children, and if they do what they've done before, whatever money they do get for these images would be used for charity. So we wish them and you luck in covering the story. Thanks so much, Simon Perry, this morning. Have fun out there in Nice. Anyway, we're going to get a check of the weather now from NBC Weather Plus meteorologist Jeff Ranieri, who is in for Al this morning.
Today's weather is brought to you by LendingTree.com. When banks compete, you win.
Thank you so much, and good morning to all of you. The umbrellas are, put away at least temporarily, but we have some diehard Today Show fans, of course, as always. It's your birthday. What's your name?
It is Rachel.
And look at your sign. Oh, it got a little wet there, but I don't think it's any indication of how your birthday is going to go the rest of your year. You got a good one coming your way. All right, we've got a good one coming our way here in the Northeast. Once the rain finally starts to clear, keep those umbrellas handy out here on the plaza and anywhere from New York City to D.C., but back behind it, some drier air and only low 80s today. The monsoon continues in the southwest, and fires ravage California. Over 20,000 people, and including international staff, fighting the California blazes. That's a look at your national forecast. Now here's the weather right where you are.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Bill Henley with umbrella weather. Showers and thunderstorms this morning for Philadelphia, but clouds will break this afternoon as the showers slide to the east across Delaware and South Jersey. 80s today, and nice weather ahead for tomorrow. The humidity will be coming way down for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, up to 86 degrees tomorrow, then 90 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday, and then for Friday and Saturday, the humidity arrives with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Showers late Saturday and Sunday. Have a great day.
And that is your national and your local forecast, and over to you.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Coming up next, have Bike Will Travel, one man's mission to get you to ditch your car for good. That's coming up right after this.
Tim, I wanted to talk with you about my home equity loan.
Oh, sure, Karen.
I'm going with LendingTree instead.
Karen, please. How could you choose LendingTree over us?
Well, at LendingTree, I get all the terms up front, so I know there will be no surprises at closing. It makes me feel like they're really looking out for me.
But Karen, you work here.
Yeah. Awkward, isn't it?
Join the 20 million people who use LendingTree. When banks compete, you win.
I chose to get my daughter vaccinated because I want her to be one less woman affected by cervical cancer.
I chose to get my daughter vaccinated when her doctor told me the facts. Like other vaccines, it's about prevention. I like it.
Gardasil is the only cervical cancer vaccine that helps protect against 4 types of HPV.
2 types that cause 70% of cervical cancer and 2 more types that cause other HPV diseases.
I chose to get vaccinated after my doctor told me Gardasil does more than help prevent cervical cancer.
It helps prevent other HPV diseases too.
Gardasil does not treat cervical cancer or other HPV diseases.
Side effects include pain, swelling, itching, and redness at the injection site. Fever, nausea, dizziness, vomiting, and fainting.
Gardasil is not for women who are pregnant.
Gardasil may not fully protect everyone and does not prevent all kinds of cervical cancer.
So it's important to continue routine cervical cancer screenings.
ONELESS.
One less.
Gardasil.
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 You have the power to choose. Ask your daughter's doctor about Gardasil.
Start your day with 100% all-natural Florida orange juice. It has almost 25% of your daily recommended fruit and vegetable servings in one 8-ounce glass. Florida orange juice. Healthy, pure, and simple.
Why are you looking at me? I told you not to do it.
Time to get your carpet cleaned? Call today about our $99 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets carpet cleaner.
They call and check on you and everything.
He called me and woke me up. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Kelly, I'm
no.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Follow me, everyone. Check this out. New 2X Ultra Tide is 2 times concentrated with twice the stain-fighting power in every drop. It removes way more stains better than the other guy. So it's not just clean, it's ultra clean. Next, let's clean the napkins.
It's beautiful, silken, luxurious. It sits in your bathroom like a faceted jewel. It makes you happy, but it will never make you any younger. This is not as alluring, but use Neutrogena Anti-Wrinkle Intensive for just 4 weeks, and its clinically proven retinol SA formula will smooth even the deepest wrinkles. So choose, beautiful in the jar or in the mirror. Neutrogena, recommended most by dermatologists.
Discover America pancakes at IHOP are really turning heads. There's New York cheesecake, Georgia praline peach, and all-American red, white, and blueberries served with all your favorites all month long. Only at IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
If filling up your gas tank is getting you down, we're about to find out how you may be able to live car-free. Environmental journalist Chris Baelish is the author of How to Live Well Without Owning a Car, Save Money, Breathe Easier, and Get More Mileage Out of Life. Hey, Chris, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good to see you, Matt.
So let's be honest right off the bat. Aren't there some places around this country people simply can't do this?
Correct. If you live out in the country, you live in a rural area, you don't have any mass transit, it's a lot more difficult. But I still say a lot of those families have 2, 3 vehicles. You can cut down, buy one vehicle.
And let's talk about this. You actually started doing this accidentally about 5 years ago. You got tired of paying $1.65. Those were the good old days for gas.
Right.
You were trading in or trading down your SUV and decided, wait a minute, I'm saving a lot of cash here.
Yeah, I was shopping for a car. I'd sold my previous car, and I was saving $800 a month. So I thought, you know, I'm going to stretch this out a couple more months. That was 5 years ago, and I've saved over $60,000.
All right, so right off the bat, you're saving money on gasoline every month. You're saving car payments. You're saving insurance payments. But you're paying for mass transit. Right. You're probably renting a car from time to time when you really need one. What is the average person going to save if they get rid of their car?
The average American family, if they get rid of one car, will save between $400 and $1,000 per month. If they just cut down their car use a lot, they can save between $100 and $300 a month.
And are they going to love Chris Baelish for this when they're sitting there raking in that money? And are they going to hate Chris Baelish for this when they're getting caught in a rainstorm on a bicycle on the side road?
Well, I get 10% with everything they save. Yeah, no, they're going to love it. It's so much, such a great cash flow incentive, and you can really save a lot of money.
But again, depending where you live, I see it happening here in New York City and some other places. And you live in LA, so it works there. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the options. And the first one you have right here is a folding bicycle. We got Steve Cuomo here, who's going to actually show us how quickly we can fold this. Tell me about this bike.
Folding bikes offer tremendous mobility in a very small package. Steve, we're going to fold that up so small that you can put it in a shoulder bag, put it over your shoulder, take it on the train, take it on the bus, put it under your desk at work. It makes commuting by bike a lot easier.
And how much does something like this cost?
Anywhere from $400 to $1,000 is the average.
All right, so, and that obviously lasts for years and years. Steve, that was 14 seconds. That's close to your record. Thanks very much. This is a bicycle, but it's got an electric kick to it.
That's right. This is a pedal assist bicycle by OptiBike. Basically, you pedal just like you would a normal bike, but you go 3 times faster and 3 times farther, and it only costs about 8 cents to charge it.
All right, so less than a dime to charge it overnight. And again, the price on this?
Anywhere from $5,000 to $13,000.
So it's pricey, but you have to kind of amortize that cost out.